What's going on, Ravens fans? It's Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, and coming up here on today's show, I'm going to walk you through the remaining games left on the Baltimore schedule. I'm going to tell you if I think they're going to win or if they're going to lose, and how it's going to potentially impact their playoff chances. And on top of that, if that wasn't enough, we're also going to keep you up to date on the latest injury news around Lamar Jackson, because the Ravens, they did something today. Makes me a little bit nervous. Now, here's the latest AFC playoff picture. Obviously, the team that y'all care about is currently the number 4 seed, sitting there with an 8-5 record. And one of the things that we're going to be looking at here is how likely it is for them to ultimately maybe potentially win the division and still make the wild card. The bad news is it's not going to get any easier. I don't care if the Ravens would have had a healthy Lamar Jackson. If you'd have your top 3 starting running backs like Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, or if you would have had star cornerback Marlon Humphrey, at the end of the day, this is not an easy schedule. I would even make the argument probably one of the hardest finishing schedules out of any NFL team. But most NFL teams, they're not going to look ahead. They're going to look at the team that they have up this coming week. And if I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I think right now the best team in the National Football League, especially in the NFC, it's the Green Bay Packers, and that's the game you got going on this week. You got the 10-3 Packers up against the 8-5 Baltimore Ravens. This game is on Sunday, December 19th at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Realistically, the Packers have only lost 2 games with Aaron Rodgers under center. The other game that they lost, Jordan Love was the quarterback, and they lost to the Chiefs in actually a pretty close game. Then the other game was when they got absolutely blown out week 1 against the New Orleans Saints. Since that week 1 game, this Packers team is has been very consistent, and they just got back one of their star cornerbacks, Jair Alexander. So this is what we're going to be walking through, okay? We're going to go through the remaining of the schedule here, and if Baltimore's able to beat the Packers, your playoff chances go up to 92%. So you'd be feeling pretty damn good about yourself, right? Well, if you lose, your playoff chances go down to 64%. So the way that we're going to go is, again, I'm going to tell you win, loss, and I'm going to tell you whether or not I think Baltimore is going to win this game. But first, I want you guys to let me know, how confident are you that the Ravens are going to take care of business up against the Green Bay Packers? And I'm actually going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. For those of you who don't know what that means, you're going to see a comment on the very, very top of the video, which means I want every person to go ahead and comment on it. So while you're getting hit with that YouTube ad break, scroll on down. Let me know a scale from 1 to 10, your confidence level, the Ravens beating the Packers. I'm probably going to keep this a little bit lower in terms of a number from top to bottom for the simple fact of I just don't know if they're going to be able to get it done. On top of that, Lamar Jackson's been battling an injury. He's got a low ankle sprain right now, which obviously is not what you're hoping for. Hopefully he's going to be out there fully healthy. If he's not able to play, look for the Ravens to go with Tyler Huntley. And even though I'm not the biggest believer in Tyler Huntley, I will say that he's been playing much better than what I ever anticipated him being able to play with Baltimore. The scheme helps him. What makes me a little bit nervous about the Lamar Jackson injury is the fact that Baltimore today went out and they signed free agent quarterback Josh Johnson, who you want to talk about a dude that's been bouncing around. Johnson's been bouncing around. 3 touchdowns and interception in his limited time with the New York Jets this season. Here's what head coach John Harbaugh had to say on the quarterback situation in Baltimore. We're going to see where we're at with the situation. The plans are right now, in my mind, for Lamar Jackson to be out there. So we'll see where it goes this week. If he can go, he'll go. If not, Tyler Huntley will be the quarterback. So that's where we're at. Now, even if Lamar is out there, even if it's Tyler Huntley, this is a very, very difficult matchup considering the fact that Green Bay, with Aaron Rodgers, with their running back situation, and then you got Davante Adams. He's 3rd in the NFL with over 1,200 receiving yards going up against the Ravens without Marlon Humphrey. So here's again, you got the Packers minus 4.5 point favorites. The Baltimore Ravens, the over-under in this game is 43.5 points. So what I want you guys to do is if you think that Baltimore is going to win this game, go ahead, put your money where your mouth is with today's sponsor, with BetUS. It's by far the best deal on the internet. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125. It's going to get you 125% deposit bonus. So put down $100. get $125 for free to bet with. And if you actually want to go ahead and bet on who's going to win the AFC North, here are the latest odds. The Ravens still sitting there as the favorites at -160. The Cincinnati Bengals at +250. The Browns at +180. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers at +1,200. Go down in the comments section and let me know who you think's going to win the AFC North. Type BAL for Baltimore. Well, yeah, I just want you to go ahead and type BAL for the Baltimore Ravens. Let's look at the AFC North standings, and this is why, obviously, that the Ravens are the favorites to win the division. You're currently at number 1 with an 8-5 record. The Browns, though, they're nipping at your heels. They have an easy matchup this week against the Raiders, though they have a lot of injuries and a lot of players, maybe not injuries, but 14 starters out right now with COVID, potentially even out without their head coach. The Cincinnati Bengals and then the Pittsburgh Steelers are also in this mix. So it's now what I want you guys to do is we're going to continue to walk through this remaining schedule, and I had them losing to the Green Bay Packers, which is why you saw the 64%, which means now if they were to lose to the Cincinnati Bengals the following week, you'd be at 47% chance to make the playoffs. If they are able to take down the Bengals, then that goes up to an 81% chance of being able to make the playoffs. Personally, I understand that Cincinnati beat Baltimore before 41-17. I can't see the Ravens losing twice to the Bengals. It would absolutely blow my mind. So realistically, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that the Ravens are able to take down Cincinnati. So there, right now, 81% chance of making the playoffs. Now, if you guys haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The more subs we get, the more videos we're able to do. The Ravens channel needs to go ahead and catch up to the Browns channel because the fact that that channel has more subs than this one, I personally think is pretty sad. So if you could, take a second, look underneath the video, click the subscribe button, and turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss a thing. So let's now go to Week 17. If the Ravens lose to the Rams, their playoff percentages go down to 68%. So again, I have them losing to Green Bay, beating Cincinnati. If you lose to the Rams, you go down to 68%. If you take care of business up against Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, then your playoff chances go up to 97%. The issue is this. I think the Rams right now are going to really get their mojo going. I was impressed by their victory on Monday Night Football over the Arizona Cardinals, so I wish I could sit here and tell you that Baltimore is going to win this game, and if they were 100% healthy, sure, it'd be maybe a little bit of a different scenario, but I don't have the Ravens winning this game. I have the Los Angeles Rams coming out on top, which then puts them again at a 68% chance of making the playoffs, which then leads us to the final week of the season. And I don't know if we're breaking it all down. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers game, so like Week 18, you got a big-time rivalry game here, and if you're able to beat them, it's really going to help you put you in the driver's seat. Now if you lose to Pittsburgh, you got a 31% chance of making the playoffs, and at that point, you don't control your own destiny. If you beat Pittsburgh, then you go to a 99% chance of making the playoffs. Obviously, again, I still think that Baltimore's a better team. I don't have a lot of confidence in Pittsburgh and Ben Roethlisberger, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that the Ravens win this game, which then puts them at a 99% chance to take down this division and to go ahead and make the playoffs, which then puts us here. When I go through, I look at all the other games, I look at everything that goes on, I have the Ravens then making the playoffs with a 10-7 record, and that would mean the AFC Wildcard showdown would be this. The Indianapolis Colts, who I have them winning 9 games, finishing 9-8, and then the Baltimore Ravens sitting there at 10-7. If you guys want to let me know who you would want to play in the playoffs, if you're like, you know what, I don't want to count my Ravens before they hatch, I understand that, but this is the AFC wildcard prediction that I see coming up for Baltimore.